Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all here in this webinar session being conducted by TNV Academy. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today's webinar, Mr. Ashutosh Kumar Sinha. The topic with which Mr. Sinha is here today is Introduction to AS 9100C, the International Standard for Aerospace Industry. Our distinguished speaker, Mr. Ashutosh Kumar Sinha, has done his bachelor's in engineering in metallurgy stream. He is also a lead auditor in ISO 9001 and AS 9100C standard. Mr. Ashutosh Kumar Sinha has audited several organizations for ISO 9001 and AS 9100C standards and has helped several others for their implementation. He has an industrial experience of more than 38 plus years in field of production, manufacturing, quality control, and quality assurance. He has been imparting training to a number of organizations, entrepreneurs, and individuals on various topics related to ISO terminologies and terminologies related to the aerospace industry. This was just a brief introduction of our guest speaker today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ashutosh Kumar Sinha. I may request Mr. Ashutosh Kumar Sinha now to please take over and start the webinar.
Good afternoon, Apurva and all participants. Uh, you have given me opportunity to talk with you on aerospace standard. Naturally, I have worked almost more than 36 years in aerospace, that is HAL, and especially in quality department. So whatever I have gained experience, we can share with you. As I see, most of the participants are most TNB. I expected the participant maybe is out of TNB and maybe beginner, but here I see they are practitioner, auditor of ISO 9001 standard. Is it correct? And of course, they are very much familiar with the 9001 standard. So I will be giving a brief description on the general points specific to AS wherever required. We start with the history of AS 9100. Is in 1999, the Organization of Standardization ISO, representative of IAQG, International Aerospace Group, American Quality Group, European Association of Aerospace Industries, Japanese Aerospace Company, and Brazilian Aerospace Industries. They have first published AS 910 standard. This standard was that time also basically base was ISO 9001, and above that specific requirement which is needed for the industries, especially aerospace industries, was incorporated. At time to time, it has been revised like 2001, 4, 9, and last revision was 2016. This revision is called AS9100D because AS standard are revised by the alphabet suffix A, B, C, D, not like ISO 9001 where the year is first marked. Here also now practices, now we can say this standard AS 9100 2016 because 2015 this standard of ISO 9001 was published, and further IAQA worked on this standard with certain extra requirement they were added, and it was published in 2016, 1 year, after 1 year. The International Aerospace Quality Group is an international organization regrouping as a member of the leading aerospace and defense company worldwide. Basically, its applicability is aerospace and defense company. Main goal is to improve the quality, safety, performance of the aerospace and defense industry supply chain. As you know, ISO standard has more given a lot of focus on the supply chain, process, and other area. Here also, similarly, focus has been given. So, what is IAQG? IAQG is a cooperative organization, as I told you. It has a three sector: American Aerospace Quality Group, AAQG, area covered North, Central, and South America. Country from this area they will become first AAQG member and IAQG member. IAQG is basically apex body, and it has three sectors throughout the world. Asia Pacific Aerospace Quality Group, APAQG, where Asia and other Oceania country are coming. European Aerospace Quality Group, EAQG, Europe, Middle East, Russia, and Africa. Now, HAL become first company in India who took who took the membership of IAQG in term of APAQG, because India comes under Asia Pacific. That was the published 16 September 2016. This membership was granted, and HAL become the member of Asia Pacific Aerospace Quality Group. The other nation who are the APAQG are China, South Korea, Taiwan, Indonesia, Singapore, and Japan. From this country, of course, many more companies are member of the APAQG. Advantage is that now HAL has become a global quality team dedicated to bring improvement in aerospace quality. Company now HAL is able to participate in the international forum. Even in 2017, we have conducted one Asia Pacific meeting where all the country members they have attended at Bangalore, and the membership enables HAL to have access to various quality system standards and other guidelines developed by IAQG. Now HAL has become a member, then all division and it comes to HAL for suggestion, and because we are HAL is a full member with voting right. After that, other company like Tata Advanced System, Excellent Technology Private Limited, Bharat Forge Limited, Axis Cadence, Moog India, Ankit Fastener, and Dynamic Technology, as I know, they have also taken the membership. They may not have granted an associate membership, affiliated membership. Most of the company are affiliated membership. I think only except Tata Advanced System, which has a associate membership like HAL. When many company has joined as a membership of APQJ, then we started a chapter, that is INAQG, Indian Aerospace Quality Group. The Indian Aerospace Quality Group was formed in 2017 by initiative of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and under the platform of CAT. Presently, it has more than 100 members company, and its governing structure has become the former as the year have progressed. Now, some of the activity has started, of course, but it is very limited activity has been done, because here most of the industries are the member. There in this IAQG, there is one principle is there, only industry can be a member, not any society or not any even certification body are not the member of IAQG. Then I was also president for 2 years, from 18 to 20 of INQ chapter. This is the basic I wanted to show here, how the any development take place either standard or revision, how IAQG take coordination from the all three sector, stakeholder, industry member, and they put their suggestion, they put their input to the IAQG apex body, and from there they decide what the things to be added or deleted from the standards. Now IAQG has started issuing many more standards. Of course, the list is I have not put here, but many more standards they have started parallel to ISO, which is specific to aerospace industries. Basic aim of this standard design to reduce the defect in the supplier chain, continually improve quality and boost customer satisfaction, and reduce the number of one of the aim is there of our IEQG to reduce the number of hours spent on the audit requirement document. Means this process is so robust, so audit requirement should be less and less because this is basically industry-wide standard. So each of industry certification shall be taken care during the standard requirements. This standard now AS9100 very much aware this is not difference in between ISO 9000 or AS standard is not very like enormous. This is a few clauses, some additional requirements they have put. This standard is intended for use by organizations that design, develop, or provide aviation, space, and defense products and services, and by organization providing post-delivery activity. That is a difference between here. A lot of emphasis has been given on post-delivery activity because the aerospace equipment, either you take the flying equipment or a helicopter, this post-delivery activity becomes very important because they need more support of unlike the other product, including the provision of maintenance, spare parts or materials for their own products and services. If you say 9,000, what is the major difference? Additional requirement in terms of additional requirement or more emphasis has been given on those requirements, though some of the requirements are present in 9001 also, but here more stress they have given, more focus they have given. Like operation risk management, it is there in 9001. Product safety, more emphasis is given on the product safety when it is a new term added here. Special requirements, which is not there in ISO. Critical items, this is a new term has been defined. Configuration management, on-time delivery, counterfeit parts. The expanded requirement for production and external provider is also there in ISO. So this is a additional requirement in term of AS standard is given here compared to ISO 9001. Then as a ISO 9000 family of standard, as you know very well, basic standard 9000 is the basically fundamental and vocabulary. 9001 is the main standard. 9004 is the management standard success of organization. This is a quality management. This is little requirement is more explicitly it is described. And 11 we know is a guideline for auditing. ACE also has two more standard. Whatever I am going to do, AS 9100, that is for, I told you, that is for product and services basically. And this 9100 also it has been revised in 2016, quality management system requirements for aviation maintenance organization. This is for MRO. They have separate standard for MRO. The organization which engage in maintenance and repair only they can go for this standard. AS 9120 2016 also is a quality management standard, basically requirements for aviation, space and defense distributors. This is basically suppliers, spare part supplier and storage distributor. This standard is especially made for the distributor. So they have three categories of standard: production, MRO, maintenance and repair, and distribution and storage. Now 910 revision, this terminology in a high level structure, though difference is not much, but few things before going to detail we should know. Like This is maybe something may be common in 9001 also. Products, the product and services. Exclusion word has been removed. Now the applicability. Documentation record, documented procedure, now documented information. This is now termed as a documented information. Purchase product, we know externally provided products and services. Supplier and outsourcing, as a term as a external provider. As you know, PDSA cycle is followed where the plant do check activity, approach is taken for this standard. All ISO management system standard built on the same structure. That is now they have in 2016 or 15 onwards, whatever revision has taken place, they have made structure same. All the standard issued by ISO or AS also, they are in line with this and clauses sequence and ordering has been made same. Maybe content may differ depending on the product and specific standard like aerospace. We also we are well aware of that plan 4, 5, 6, 7 is a plan where most of the plan and resource how you plan all activity as under the plan. 2 is the activity performed by the organization. This is basically related to operation. Check is the performance evaluation, testing, monitoring, auditing, which comes under 9 and 10. Of course, improvement, maybe by term as a continuous improvement, improvement through the non-conformity, all are under the plant do check activity. There are 7 principles of the based on that ISO standard has been formulated. I don't think I need to go for each principle, but small way I can touch because most of the participant I thought the participant may be out of this, maybe not very much involved in the ISO activity. For them, it is required to go in detail, but I feel it will not be justified that I should go in detail in what is customer focus and all. But in brief, I can tell some of the possible action to increase the customer focus can be done like it comes from a standard only and identify and recognize the direction, direct and indirect customer, understanding customer current and future need and expectation. The organization must link its objective to customer need and expectation. It must measure and monitor customer satisfaction and take appropriate action. It must really actively manage relationship with the customer to achieve the sustained success. Basically, this is the work we have to do in the organization to meet the customer focus. I don't want to go what is customer focus. If your leadership who the general understanding, leadership is the process who motivate others to do the right thing within given framework. They set clear strategy, they build an inspiring vision and create something new. That how you this approach works in the organization, basically identify, engage or relevant stakeholder to achieve a common goal. Basically, this is a called leadership of the organization, build quality culture. These are action you should take leadership. Detailed leadership will go when we will go to clause. Engagement of people. Here one more thing I want to just make it clear. Management and leadership. What is management and leadership? Generally, we use this word very commonly. It is synonymous, but it's not. The function of this are completely different. Management is basically related to plan. What you plan, coordinate, evaluate, facilitate, and provide the budget. Where the leadership is the motivating, inspiring, coaching, creating direction, communicating, empowering your employees, or and creating a ownership. This is the action, what you do, that is called leadership. What in plan stage, it is comes under management. Okay. Now, engagement of people, how fully people are psychologically present in the during the particular moments of role performance. That is the engagement of people, and what the standard does not specify how what means should to use engage the employee. Standard nowhere is written how you engage the employee, but this is up to organization how they do it to meet the engagement of people approach. Typical action maybe promote the understanding of importance of the individual contribution. Unless they are motivated, they will not get the good result. So individual contribution, how it is important to for company, collaboration through the organization, sharing of knowledge, experience, empower people to take initiatives without fear. That what comes without fear in industries. If you're working, take initiative. Sometimes fear is there. Management will not agree with that. Those type of fear should be avoided. If you really you want to empower the people, engage the best idea in your organization. Recognize and acknowledge people's contribution. This is one of the very important things. Either your stakeholder or your supplier, whatever, if you have a system of recognizing their good work, awarding some recognition, giving even certificate, giving a certain memento, this gives the recognition of people and your engagement increases with the stakeholder. Now we will go to process approach. This is a very much understood from 2000 onwards when first 2000 revision. This was very strongly it was added in the standard, and the concept of process based on the quality management has basically now after that there is no change is there, much change is there. Only latest version standard has become more specific, less ambiguous. The process approach defining, I don't think it is necessary to define people. Anyhow, typical action, what should we should do for process approach is very simple. Determine process input and expected output, assign responsibility and authority, identify risk and opportunity for the process. Second most important in the standard is risk-based thinking. Process always it is coming repetitively. Process when you are a process approach should align with the risk-based thinking. Risk-based thinking is the extension of preventive action. Earlier you used to tell preventive action, but not it is exactly risk-based thinking same, but we can relate with that. It requires organization to determine the risk and opportunity to process, product and services as well as quality management. Basically, any process you are defining, you are establishing, always you need desired result. If you are not getting the desired result, this is your risk. Either any process, you take purchasing process, you take any technical process, the customer process, anything is not able to achieve the result, it is your risk. Then you should identify the risk and take mitigation action to minimize the risk. Basically, use process approach. It should be inbuilt risk-based thinking. So this is, of course, I have put a slide here. This is a very known slide. Then shows how this is basically to define a process. This much element you should consider: input, output, and control over the what are called checkpoints. And further, anything deviation goes to PDCA cycle. Here PDCA cycle, the standard, of course, ask for not only customer requirement, input should be organization and in context. We will go in detail in context. Need or expectation of relevant interested party, that should be our input. Leadership is in center. where every activity performed with the leadership, directive, and with support this planning activity, then you get result of like customer satisfaction, product and services first, and compliance to QS. PDCA approach. This is well not this one. Then the improvement. Successful organization have ongoing focus on improvement. That is true. Nobody can deny. Improvement is a dynamic and continuous process that involves everyone within the organization from top management to manager and employee. Here, term continual improvement has been changed to improvement. That is only it is done. And AS also same thing is done. It should be one objective of the organization. What improvement? How you take care of improvement? This approach, how you build your organization? Nothing but you have to set the KPI, key indicator for measuring performance, make capture suitable data, and you have to competent person to for this analysis and making decision based on the analysis. Build organization culture. This is a now word we'll see it has come the culture, quality culture. Quality culture means you should be open, people should get recognition, people should be empowered, then only organization quality culture will come. To ensure people are competent by continuous training, this is all comes in the improvement. Now we'll go to next evidence-based decision making. Of course, decision making can be complex process. It is always involves some uncertainty. Any decision you take, you cannot say it is 100% my decision is correct. The decision based on the analysis and evaluation of data information are more likely to produce desired results. This is fact. And that's why this standard given more stress on the any decision should be supported by the data. Evidence include any data or information that might be used to determine the truth verification, and it could be quantitative or qualitative. The organization need to build appropriate IT structure. Means now data handling is not so easy job. We get lot of data from the processes, and those things naturally they have added this requirement also. So the IT infrastructure should be there with the organization to handle the data and taking decisions. Here also, what step you should take in the organization, defining objective information need. First, what is the objective? What information you need? All data should not be captured. It becomes junk. So only those data which is useful that will be captured. What is needed? Collecting those data to be collected, to be analyzed, and it should be presented. And always decisions should be made on the evidence-based decision. This is a basic idea for evidence-based decision making. Now we'll go to seventh, last principle, like relationship management. Today's business and organization do not work in isolation. Identifying the important relationship with interested parties such as customer, supplier, as well as any other stakeholder, and setting out a plan to interact effectively will lead to sustainable development and ultimate success. So relationship management very much involved in any process or strategy used to build the support toward the business or its particular product and services. There are also how you meet these requirements or how you will approach these things, relationship management, prioritize interested party relationship that need to be managed. See, unless you do this action, you cannot say I am complying the relationship management, I am doing well in that. Pool and share information, expertise and resources with relevant interested party, provide performance feedback as appropriate to enhance involvement initiative, encourage and recognize improvement and achievement by supplier, and same thing I told you earlier. So this is all about this one, our principle of on which this is based AS9100, or you can say ISO. Till now, we don't found any additional requirement in AS. Any additional requirement I have put in slide, I have highlighted with the yellow color, so we can know this is the new requirement and we can discuss on. Now, high level, certain key changes, high level structure and terminology has been used, risk based thinking concept has been put, process approach has been strengthened, emphasis on supply chain management, which will be supply chain management, introduction of knowledge management has been introduced, and performance evaluation requirement has been added. Everywhere performance evaluation requirement has been added. Greater flexibility with documentation. In 9001, it is flexibility more, and certain flexibility has been reduced in AS910. More compatible with the services. Best practices, product safety, human factor. What has come in AS? I don't think ISO anywhere is talking about human factor. Product safety, human factor, certain tools supposed to be used for improvement. That is 6M approach, lean, sigma, integration, UDIP, smart. These are the tools they have suggested. It is not, nowhere it is mandatory, but they have suggested to use it in AS. The product safety defined as a state in which a product is able to perform to its design or intended purpose without causing unexpected risk of harm to person or damage to property. Product safety here, they have defined anything happening in the flying machine or maybe aerospace machine the property which is damaging the machine, or you can say product, is related to product that you have to analyze on the product safety first. This is very much understood. Even any harm to a person also comes under product safety. Though name is product safety, but both the element we have to analyze for the product safety. Harm to person who is flying the machine, who is maintaining the machine, or due to unfortunately it has happened to third party, any safety related issue due to this product, all comes in the product safety. Example, assessment of how product safety means assessment of hazards and management associated with the risk. Again here, you have to determine the risk in terms of safety. Management of safety critical item. In aero industry, safety critical item are defined. So how this is managed, safety critical item, how should be managed? That should be checked, be seen in the during production, during the service, during the use by the customer. Analysis and reporting of occurred event affecting on then any product safety related things has occurred, incident has occurred, or accident has occurred. In aerospace industry, related to this equipment, machine, a flying machine, then immediately there is a regulatory requirement, it should be reported and communicated to this event, and to minimize the risk, training shall be provided. This is basically summary of product safety. Human error defined as a discipline that explains the reason of human error. Any error is happening either during the manufacturing or during the use of the machine. There is chances of happening human error. If you see the air accident, what is happening? It is data says around 60 to 70% incident or accident happen due to human error. It can be any type. So that's why here human error has very strongly they have added when we are doing the finding the cause of error, cause of defect, cause of incident, cause of accident. So there is a you have to consider the human factor also. So this aim, really human error aim is the zero defect, non-conforming reporting. The non-conforming should be related managing human factor. Human once error is identified, then becomes the human factor. Why it has happened and safe execution. This is all basically purpose of the related to the human factor. Other techniques, 6M approach could be applied to management product safety, human factor, counterfeit prevention. These are all you can avoid like man, machine, material. When you are analyzing, the tools should be used. It is not only limited tool. There is a certain so many more tools are available, but this is very important for analyzing the cause of error. It can be human error, it can be chemical error, it can be psychological error, whatever. Man, machine, material, method, measurement, and mother nature, that is environment. Lean and Six Sigma integration, very much well, everybody knows. QDIP, safety, quality, delivery, inventory, productivity. These are also tools, but it is used in the basically in aero industry during design stage. Smart, everybody knows. Yeah, when it comes to objective, this smart, it should be smart, be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant. And these are the basic tools they have mentioned, but it's not limited to this. You can have many more tools for analyzing the errors, defect, anything. This slide says terms and definition. Every knows, shall, note, product and services, leadership. I don't think nothing is new in that, which has been added in the AS 9100. This is the same, remaining same in the both the standard. Now, which is added, I would like to reform that. There are five new terms has been added. One is counterfeit part, critical item, and key characteristic, product safety, and special requirement. So, what is counterfeit part? This word is not there in ISO. An unauthorized copy, imitation, substitute, substitute, or modified. That is modification in form of material, maybe configuration, which is knowingly misrepresented. In actual part, this part is presented wrongly, knowingly, as specified genuine part of an original or authorized manufacturer. If this type of activity, this type is happening in place of original part, some other part is supplied or used or produced, then it is called counterfeit part. Because in aero industry, it has this type of things. Once you have a imported equipment, once you go for spares, there will be many company to supply it. Many agents, I will not say many manufacturers. Manufacturer may be few, but suppliers may be many. Like it is happening also by vehicle also. But safety requirement of aero industry parts or any airplane or maybe flying object has should be very high. Because anything goes wrong, there is the only option to complete machine get damaged, burned, or nothing will level. Even person which is there as a pilot, fighter plane having one or two pilots. Most of the time, they they, they will like. So that's why counterfeit parts become very important in term of its performance. That's why this has been added. Example of counterfeit parts are include but not limited to false identification of marking also is called counterfeit part, or labeling, wrong labeling, grade, serial number, date code, documentation, and performance characteristic. Anything which is not differ from the genuine, which is differ from the genuine part, is called counterfeit. There are various methods how to take care of counterfeit part. Of course, in standard they have not, they have little bit touched on that, but the organization has to evolve their own method, own way of commercial method, because of commercial method to at least avoid counterfeit. Even I have experienced some of the company we had mostly Russian licensed product. We had I worked in a big I worked in Su-30 where the used part they used to they sometimes some supplier will supply. Then how to correct them? Very many methods. You should have authorization method, certificate from manufacturer. Any part you buy for any source, there will be certificate from manufacturer. You should know the who is making in the country. You should have list of the manufacturer who makes certain important critical car item. Then anybody is supplying, you need to have a OEM certificate. Need to have OEM stamp. Lot of things you have to put in your well, I will say purchase requirement, commercial requirement. So counterfeit part should not. That's why they have it. Critical item, those items having significant effect on the provision and use to, of the products and services. When you this product you use it, that has significant effect, including safety, performance, form, fit, function, producibility, service, life. These are the criteria. If getting affected by an individual part or assembly, then it's called it's a critical item. That mostly it is specified by the designer or sometimes by the manufacturer. Critical item includes safety critical item. That is called in any aero industry you go, safety critical, mission critical, these are fracture critical. These are the nomenclature used to define the different category of part. Mission critical is very important. Any fighter plane which is has mission to destroy certain things, and those part which is responsible for carrying out this mission is getting failed. So this is a mission critical because this is a second job. In that it should work. So those type of items, sometimes safety critical item, which is which take care of safety of the product, safety of the pilot, safety of the people who are there in the aircraft. So these are so that's why this word has been added. Critical item should be identified during the design stage, taken care during the manufacturing, and proper maintenance scheduled to be used at the operation level. Now the key characteristic. Key characteristic, I don't know anybody dealing with the machining of maybe automobiles, machining of general purpose machines. Have you encountered the word in the dying key characteristic? I don't know. May not be. Because this key characteristic has been added in the AS9100, an attribute or failure whose variation has a significant effect on the product fit form. Here also fit form function. One of the example I will tell, like a two part are sometimes is called interchangeable and non-interchangeable. Means at the field anything goes wrong, can be same part new one or used one can be fit in that place or not. That is, if you can use the part in any of the aircraft, then it is interchangeable. But certain parts are there. Once aircraft is manufactured, then in that place you cannot use any other common part. Common part means general accepted part. You have to make the part according to the aircraft fitment. You have to, that part will be only for certain aircraft. So those type of dimension is called key characteristic. Or it may not be those any dimension where it will affect the fitment. Means fitment may be tolerance of maybe in micron. How you control it? So there need a special control. Those parts need a special control in terms of fitment, in terms sometimes in performance, and variation control is has to be exercised during the manufacturing, and it should be always within the defined variation. Variation should not be more. Though the drawing says limit, but in that limit also you work. It's not necessary that item is able we will able to fit in any of the craft. Those characteristics shall be controlled statistically during the production. Those dimensions are called key characteristics. Product safety, already I explained product safety, what is product safety. Now a special requirement. A special requirement is those requirements certain sometimes customer gives those requirements in view of exploitation, in view of serviceability, in view when we're using this certain things he encounter, and then he gives a special requirements. Sometimes designer they give the special requirement. Sometimes during the production they find some difficulty. The special requirements are given as a technical condition. If during production this should be taken care. Otherwise, you will not able to achieve the customer requirement or designer requirement. This is called a special requirement. This is basically for complex type of assembly, complex type of process. This type of requirements are put so that certain parameter should be maintained very strictly, or that technical condition to be maintained for those type of parts as a special requirement. I think people have understood. It's not new for you. Anyhow, now we'll go. I am giving more stress on where the changes are there. Otherwise, I think you are a master and you know better than me. I can share some of my experiences. So risk management, what is risk? Where do risks appear in the business phase? What is risk appear in the business? I think this term you may be very much familiar. I don't think go in detail. What does risk management program do? Further also we will come in some of the clauses about the risk management where we can get the answer.
And before conclusion, Ashutosh sir, I would like to introduce Ajay Bajpayee sir. Ajay Bajpayee sir is basically the vice chairman of our organization.
Yes,
He handles the business operations of North India, and he is currently located in Delhi. He's the eldest and the senior most person in our organization, and we all are working under his support and guidance. So I insisted him today to join this particular webinar session. So because this was a very new topic, it hasn't been covered by any of our trainers previously. So that is why I asked Bajpayee sir to come and join this particular session. So
okay.
he will be there. He will be there for every session which will be conducted from here on this particular topic.
No, I have gone through the last some webinar. We have done it on design development.
Yes, sir.
I think it was very nice, no doubt. So, okay. Thank you very much. Now
Okay,
we'll
sir.
conclude here. Thank you for your patient listening. Or I could meet Mr. Ajay
Namaste.
Bajpayee.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What
Yeah.
you found interesting or not this session?
It was interesting. That is why I am saying we will continue in the next one where people are more and they can take out, better
Okay,
amount
so
of
I
time
can start
to
from.
understand more details. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bajpayee sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Apurja.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So we have now come to the conclusion of this particular session, and I would say that as I just mentioned, the session was very fruitful for all of us, and this is a very new standard. We haven't we do not know much about this particular standard in practical, and the insight and the points shared by Ashutosh sir has been really beneficial for us in creating an awareness about what AS 9100C standard is all about, where it is used and what organizations are applicable to implement this particular standard within their processes and procedures. So I'm really extend my heartiest thanks to Ashutosh Sinha sir for giving his valuable time and coming in between us to discuss this particular topic. I thank all the participants as well from TNV who took out time from their busy schedule and joined us in this particular webinar. As we just said that this particular webinar will be uploaded on the YouTube channel as well. So any of the participants who want to learn and listen about what was discussed today can again watch this particular webinar, which is absolutely free of cost. And in case you have any questions on what Sinha sir discussed today, you can please put in your questions in the comment section of the video, and he will be really happy answering them. So I'll be again with you. We all will be again with you with the second part of this particular topic, AS 9100C, soon in a webinar. Thanks for your time. Thank you
Okay.
everyone for
Thank
your
you very much.
participation.